G'day, g'day, g'day from the third day in WA. We are here at Mundaring Disc Golf Course for day 3 of the RPM Discs WA Open 2023, supported by Disc Connection and Disc Golf Warehouse. We're here with the MPO feature card. I'm Ashley Wiedner, and I am joined, as always, by stylish Kyle Herbertson. How are you, Kyle?
I'm doing very well. We've got a stacked card today, kicking off with Jade Brady, who is going to be throwing a lot of those DD3s and FDs, putting with those P-line P1s. As we jump straight into Dan's bag, very similar, putting slightly different, but the highlight disc will be that pink P1X that we'll see throughout the day. And we're lucky enough to be joined by Jacob Davies.
So yeah, just my bag, Prodigy stuff, throwing the A2 a lot around the course, putting with the PA3 and throwing the D1, D2 for the drivers.
And it wouldn't be a disc golf tournament in Australia without Tim Bowen, the Mayor of Geelong. He will be throwing his destroyers, a lot of Firebirds today, that famous Taipan. We'll see a lot of those judges that he's going to be putting with, and also a lot of his rangefinder, which is in that bag somewhere, Kyle.
Kicking it off hole 1, as you saw before, got this downhill tee shot, OB running down the left side, and then long right as well with that OB sand green right in the middle. Down there, just trying to send something straight, keep it in the fairway, and punch it down the tunnel. If you are Dan playing in hole 1, playing in round 1, there are no trees, so just send something in there and hope for the best. Most of us will try and actually play down the tunnel.
Absolutely. A tricky hole to get started, especially with a bit more wind than we saw in round 1.
A bit of movement from the trees there, guys.
Yeah, there was a bit of it was kind of like a weird head right to left that was kind of swirling around, a bit of a tail right to left here and there, so it was a little bit scary.
ACT, Dan Frost.
Yes, not a good wind for this starting hole. Just going to take your disc over OB down that left-hand side.
Dan, as promised by Jacob in round 1, rocking another fantastic shirt today and just walking up, giving the gallery a wave, letting him know he's here, and punching that straight down the middle of that fairway, giving the flag waver absolutely no work to do whatsoever.
Your co-TD, representing Disc Golf Warehouse,
and that 400 feet back again here.
Jacob Davies.
Just trying to keep it flat and straight, take a bit of turn.
Been throwing this well all weekend, so hoping this one's no exception.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit more movement. Hard to see. It kind of flipped up a little bit late there and got way down there.
Huge.
Good spot there. Assuming that feedback's a fairly new addition to your bag there, Jacob?
Yeah, exactly right. We did a bit of an order through Sean Disc Golf Warehouse. It took a bit of time to get here from in the deep south in America, like Alaska and all these sort of fun places, but eventually got that new release. It's fantastic.
Magnificent, yeah, throwing it beautifully.
Forehand, not necessarily the advised line on a lot of these holes, but Tim will show how he made it work somewhat.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's certainly got away with that forehand, or got a way with that forehand, not got away with it. Seems to be like me at about 2 a.m. when someone gives me a Southern Comfort and cranberry juice, his forehands are. You just get a second wind and here to go.
Exactly right.
Jade fighting through those trees, finding a way.
Once you get through that first bit, there's something there.
If any man knows how to work those trees, it's going to be Jade Brady.
Exactly. Set himself up for the forehand line in there.
Yeah. Just not quite as much flex as he was after, or coming out a bit early in the wind, but should have some sort of look.
little bit high there. Fortunate to get it keep coming straight down.
Yeah, I think you'd be disappointed in that. That shot shapes pretty well for Dan's stock shot, I'd say.
Yeah,
And
it's
this should be bread and
definitely
butter for him.
something to be said about where you are on the tee shot. If you come up that little bit shorter, you're quite high compared to where the basket is, so you have to really get the nose down. Good shot, par there.
He's always going to give it a run, Tim. Always.
Looks so good.
Yeah. Perfect release and lovely height on it from Jade. So giving it every chance that he possibly could, I think.
Tell you what, I was so, I don't know if I was impressed or just astonished by how quick Jade played, especially those short putts, just steps up, puts it in. No time for nerves.
Yeah, I always have the thought of, I wonder if he's just going to pop his head up and look towards the basket and the basket's not there. He seems to have a great peripheral awareness of wherever the basket is.
Yeah, it's all three of those boys, really. After we talk about hole 2,
Absolutely.
Kyle.
Yeah, 200 metre par 4. Another downhill one to start with. A bit more of a placement shot off the tee than the first. Most of these guys be throwing mid-ranges or approach discs down just short of the OB leading into the creek and then bombing over the creek with your second shot into this left to right shaping green with the basket just perched up on this little upslope.
A stable approach disc, P3X with Lara smoke it down there into the middle.
Yeah, beautiful. Be on that left-hand side for a turnover approach, or maybe even a straight shot from that angle.
And stepping up the stability just slightly from day one. It's a little bit on the right side, but a little bit less pinched.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, Jacob. Distortion again. Lovely shot.
Exactly.
Beautiful shot.
That one.
The shot of a man that knows this course and hole well, by the looks of it.
We got pretty lucky with the weather in the week leading up to this. There was not too much rain, dried this up a little bit, saying it was quite muddy in the weeks leading up to the event. So happy to get a little bit more grip in this landing area.
Lovely shot from Tim.
This is shaping beautifully.
Oh,
Jeez.
that's the basket for this hole, right?
Absolutely.
Jacob just didn't sound very impressed with it.
No, I thought it was a little bit low out of the hand, but that was actually really good.
Dan here again, quite pinched off and a bit further back than than day one, so have to make some magic.
He's going to need a little bit more out of this. Oh, wow.
Super flippy roller.
Come on, Dan. Come on.
As we take a second look at this D-line TD.
Already a flippy disc beat up in the baseline plastic.
Just beautiful touch. Navigates the angle perfectly.
Oh,
Yeah, just
lovely.
that laconic, relaxed throwing style. Just watching it in that reversed parked sort of slow-mo is just the ease. He knew exactly what that was going to do.
Yep, exactly right. It looks so easy, but yeah, you could have so much control from there.
Speaking of looking so easy, there is the iconic Tim Bowen forehand in its full glory.
That's the Justice, the blue approach disc.
Yeah, he's Justice there. See it on the regular.
Dan does those knee putts so well. Knows when to use them.
Yeah, he's a big guy, tall man, and I'm wondering if the baskets in his local Canberra course is a touch lower than what we're accustomed to in other parts of the country, and so he's had to adjust his to the knee putt, but he is very comfortable with it, Jacob.
Yeah, he does well. So hole 3, par 3, uphill, 115 meters. As I said in round 1, probably plays closer to 125. Trying to get that big righty backhand turnover in there, or maybe a straight shot. That sand green up on the left shouldn't really come into play unless you really connect on it and don't get it over.
Hold.
Dan needs us to pull up a little. Just finds that front edge of the sand green.
Yeah, it's pretty good generally if you hit there. They can get a pretty good roll around towards the basket.
Oh, get off it. Get left.
So we nervously wait. No.
Yeah.
Sort of watching that tree in the
Flex down
foreground on your shot, Jacob, and hoping the disc is going to pop out to the right of it.
Unfortunately, just a little bit too much fibre. Jade smoked it up there.
Yeah, Jade gets the turn we're all looking for. Tim opting for a backhand here, which has recently become a big feature of his game.
Yeah, good looking
done
shape,
well.
just coming up that bit short.
Yeah.
Just see the flag there, just trying to pitch it up, put it somewhere close.
Tim does similarly, and we'll now see what Dan can manage here.
Looks like he's lining it up for a run here. Gives it a bit of air. Gives it a chance and takes very little risk as Jade cans that beautifully.
Very good. He wasn't happy with that one, but that's a great birdie to get.
And a nice couple of cleanups from yourself, Dan, and Tim for the pars. I think it's one of those
Happy to
holes
play that
where,
hole.
yeah, no damage is good.
Yep, exactly right.
Yeah, these opening holes just want to start the momentum strong, and hole 4 is no exception to that. Sitting at 150 metres, players want to shoot out this initial gap and then not collect any of the trees or low-hanging limbs and push towards this tunnel you'll see approaching on the left-hand side. Either skipping or landing directly in this tunnel or around that blue tee pad are good results off the tee. Then players can choose to shoot down either the left or right gap depending on their forehand or backhand preference into the basket that is where these two tunnels converge. Lots of trees to miss, good birdie to get. We'll see how they manage it. Basically just responding to their tee shot.
Yeah, exactly right. It's one of those where you're pretty much scrambling wherever you are in the second shot to try and hit it down one of the tunnels. Jade lace this one.
Was it you next, Jacob?
Left side tunnel.
Hit left. I'm trying to bring the right, Jade.
Ooh.
Must be forehand roller territory from there, just after a spin.
Absolutely.
I disc down a little bit this time, and that right side tunnel squared up. And maybe trying to go for the Eagle McMahon aggressive forehand line.
Yeah, looks to have worked out for him.
Tim, we all know.
There is room as Eagle put it in circle 1, going a flex forehand.
Wow. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's all you can. That's all I can say to that. It's just Tim sliding that up nicely.
Played that flex down there to make the gap nice and big for him.
Tricky little shot here. Not much room to play with.
Just trying to put on a little bit of hyzer to throw it straight. Unfortunately, just pulled it just slightly.
And looks possibly a little longer. Plays a little longer than what it looks on camera. Would I be right there?
Yeah, it's probably about 70 meters or
Yeah.
so from where I was. Need that late finish as well. Yeah, nice and touchy shot. I'm happy with the pitch up there.
It's in for 3 here. Beautifully done, Mr.
Beautiful
Bowen.
birdie.
Yeah.
Very good birdie.
The forehand, backhand dissection of hole 4 gets the job done.
Exactly right.
As does the other Mr. B.
That second
on
shot
the card.
handled.
It certainly looks like one of those holes where position first shot, and then that second shot is just the a really tricky one down that tunnel for that C1 look.
Yep, exactly right.
Oz Discs, powering Team Heiser Flight. Check them out at ozdiscs.com.au.
Alrighty, hole 5, par 3, 100 meters. Trying to play that beautiful S turn off the tee, whether it's a flex or a turning over shot with a nice finish at the end. Trying to hit this initial gap, moving a little bit to the right, and then finishing back to the left. Jail left, jail right. Just try and keep it in the middle. But early left,
That'll be-
Jade, he'll have that tough shot.
Yeah, quite a difficult scramble. Still leaving probably 80 on it for the second shot.
Tim hitting early also.
And going flex at 75 again, I think.
Yeah, it happens.
Must be asking the locals for a bit of advice on the wind and weather there.
Often get kind of a funneling tail right to left, which makes the flex even harder.
Right.
We've got a nice kick out to the right there. Clean look, I think.
Looks like a bit of damage on that tree to the right. The tee pad there, as Jacob has
Yes.
pushed it most of the way down
A
there.
little bit there. Yeah, it kicked. Oh, it kind of hit right in the middle there, which is about halfway up, and then it's kicked forward and left a little bit, so
Okay.
not too far into the basket.
Jade utilising the course perfectly there, giving himself a lovely footing.
Yeah.
He did well to get out there
Mm.
in Dan's territory.
Yeah, did very well. Yeah, very well to not hit his hand on anything pulling through and still getting good advancement on the disc. They're always tough, those shots, I find.
Shit. Oh, shit.
Touch. Love that out of Frosty there.
Great
So
shot.
early.
Fortunately, just let it go a little bit early left there. One looks to be maybe edge of C2.
Ooh.
Decent bit. Jim was a few meters ahead of me. You're really not that upset with a bogey on this one. You know, if you're going to take one, this might be the hole.
Yeah, for 100-metre hole, it certainly seems like it must have felt for that Equatorial Guinea man at the Sydney 2000 Olympics swimming 100 metres that just went on forever. It certainly seems like a very long
Exactly
100
right.
metres.
Yeah, it's a fun fact. There was actually 0 birdies on this hole in MPO all weekend, somehow.
Wow.
And yesterday we had the privilege of seeing Sarah Lee take the birdie on this hole. in round 2. So
Did too.
really showing up the entire MPO field.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Hole 6 now, 190 metre par 4. Another of the more placement drives on this course, with hazard creeping in at this yellow flag line until we reach the blue line just over this sand green, and then shooting into the tunnel here up to the basket on the slide up slope. Players want to either choose the left or right of the placement area to either throw a straight shot or a hyzer, but otherwise pretty open to choose your own venture.
What disc is this? Is it an FD?
That's a double stamped FD from
Right, yeah.
Dan.
So much control.
Mm.
A bit low from Jade here, but a decent skip up there. Him not vocalising he wasn't too concerned about pushing the OB long there.
Yeah, with a tight band on the backhand, distance control takes care of itself.
FX2 again.
Lovely.
Another lovely
Yeah, a
shot.
little bit right side.
Tim sliding up beautifully. Some nice flex through those trees.
Gotta go. Yeah.
It'll be just outside the circle there, maybe 14 metres.
Dan getting sneaky through a lot of those trees, yeah. He'll have some sort of look.
This is my M4 here. Fairly straight look at the basket. Just got caught up about edge of circle.
Bang.
It's close. Jade was close on so many.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, stoked to get that one. I thought it was kind of just on the edge of circle. Nice confidence builder after the bogey on hole 5.
And as we see a lot of players do, just looking back to make sure the camera has seen it, and Kyle was watching. So good stuff there, Jacob. Lovely putt.
Got to get those highlights in there.
So we see Tim lining up for 3. Oh.
Nasty.
Yeah, asking a bit too much of the basket, perhaps, or just the basket not basketing.
Yeah, those light old disc catcher chains sometimes don't catch fantastically.
Dan makes no mistake there, and Tim makes sure of it.
Alrighty, hole 7, par 4, 175 metres. Just playing out of this initial gap, moving to the right. Whatever shot works for you. Keep it in the middle just to have a nice clean look down the tunnel into the basket. The tunnel's only 55 metres or so, but you certainly want to be in the right position to actually pipe it. If you're too left, you're stuck, and if you're in the right stuff, you've got pretty much no line. Good birdie to get.
It's lovely having Jacob's insight on the course here, because it looks terrifying from the flyover, and then he describes it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm never playing this in less than 125 shots. Jacob, looks like you've been caught up there.
Yeah, pulled it a little bit right, got caught up, but fairly open. Smoked it, turn over.
And just turning it over a bit. He'll be on that right hand side, so with some sort of turnover straight look down the tunnel.
Jade giving that everything out of the hand to get the shape he wants.
Get the right angle on it.
Yeah.
Forehand is definitely a good play on this one if you got it. It's more of a straight forehand than a Eisner. He's just got over on this a little bit too much, but have a clean look down the tunnel, about 100 metres. Just trying to pitch this one up into the mouth of the tunnel, pulled it a little bit left. I'll have to scramble again from there. I thought Tim was lining up to go over the top there for a second.
Get the Ricky Wysocki play.
Jade with his P3X. Almost nailed it.
Flips up for
Very
just the
good look.
tiniest of seconds and then starts being a disc. Beautiful.
Another one so close. You really
Yes.
have to be careful on this one.
The whole card's starting to find some trees now.
Now, I had to put
Jacob.
this Glow PA3 on pretty steep highs there, and it's snuck through that right side nicely. Very tight gap. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Did well with that Firebird.
It's Tim, his Firebird, and trees. It's just playing a lot of Inverleigh down in Melbourne. That's just what Tim does.
Jade looking to cash in on one of these long circle 2 bids. He's had a lot so far. Just leaving that one a bit too high.
Turning up there.
Is it me or?
I think it's you, yeah. Doesn't matter. Yeah,
Stoked to get the tie here after I was off the tee.
Beautiful use of that Glow PA3 too, demonstrating its full capabilities of that glorious, glorious piece of plastic.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Tim cleaning up nicely and Jade to cap off the par frame. That brings us straight into hole 8. Probably one of the easiest holes on the course, 90 metres. Straight left to right shaping hole. The only complicating factor being this hazard flag line you'll see here. Everything left of that being hazard, play it where it lies, add a stroke and see how you fare on hole 8.
Now, you say it's the easiest hole in the course, or maybe the easiest on this layout, but currently I've gone round 1 double bogey, being just outside the circle, and then round 2 I decided to put it in the hazard, so I felt a fair bit of pressure on this one. But I'm safe.
Yeah.
Hopefully pitch it up for a par.
I thought the same thing, Jacob, when Kyle said easiest hole on the course. I said, there's no fairway. You've literally told us it's the easiest hole on the course and there's no fairway.
That's
what I mean.
A little bit low and short there. We had a bit of a headwind, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Dan opting for the Rainmaker instead of his normal P1X play, so going a bit more stable and just not getting that turn. Jade overturns it a bit, but plenty safe enough in there.
Yeah, he's in circle 2, should have a long look. Now, this is a stock Timmy V hole, 90 metre, tight end forehand.
Yeah, I'm expecting big things out of Tim
Absolutely.
here.
Get me nice and low out of the wind. Skip. Beautifully done. A little bit short. It's probably 8 metre putt.
Yeah, he had made a comment coming into this hole that he hadn't thrown a Taipan forehand yet, so it hadn't felt like a proper round. So he very quickly got that out of the system on hole 8.
Oh,
Gave it a look. Scooted to about 7 meters, I think. Very nervy.
Shades of round 1 there. Shades of round 1. See if you can convert on the comebacker.
We hope. This opportunity there from Tim. Certainly one of the easier holes in the course, but the second easiest on the day.
yeah, certainly just never looked right out of the setup and the hand for Tim there.
He's done it.
Makes
High right,
absolutely
just
no
keen
mistake.
to be in the basket. Can see. I was stoked. That made my day.
I was only out of bounds on one of them too.
And Dan just cool as a cucumber there.
Did you fall apart one of them, Dave?
I'm at the end of the world.
Hey?
See my caddy Tom there, giving me a bit of curry about finally getting apart. So moving on to hole 9, par 3. It's a downhill 120 meter shot. Got the OB early left there, wrapping back around the back of the basket. The OB sand green there as well. We had a bit of a headwind on this one, so it played a little bit tougher to put it in the right spot and not come up short left or not go long. Trying to hit a little bit short right of the basket and skip up into it. And my FX2 here. A little bit too much hyzer and a bit too low there. Big skip into the out of bounds.
That's a big. That was pretty close. Give me a chance there.
Yeah, just a little bit too much hyzer release, as you said.
Yeah.
Being an FX2, never fighting up to flat.
Yes, indeed.
Possibly falling victim to the curse. You know, after scoring an ace, players will often, bogey the next as they relax a bit. Was that possibly what's happened there, Jacob, with your par on hole 8? Just relaxed into the game and thought this golf's
felt
easy?
like it. 2 strokes better than I'd played it ever before that tournament. So I was relaxed. I was just happy to walk away with the par on hole 8. No matter what happened.
Backhand Bowen at it again.
A little bit short left off the
Oh,
tee, but
damn.
a nice result there.
Yeah, still finding its way inside a circle, so not a bad result.
Just an FD3 out of Dan.
What is this disc?
Grey.
I think it might be a FD3, yeah. One of those Doom birds.
Oh yeah, funny run. He was scared of that OB again, but he skipped up there nicely. Just pitching up the bogey there. Not really worth running it. What are these honky nuts on this hole? And you get some weird things happen.
Oof.
So done Tim for birdie there. It is.
Tim for birdie on a backhand hole. Who would have thunk it?
It's certainly a very different Tim Bowen we're seeing this year. Certainly filming him, we were very ready to set up for a lot of forehands, a lot of flex forehands out of him. But he's brought that backhand into his game, and as viewers may have seen on our channel from Melbourne Celebrates earlier this year, it's been very, very effective for him.
He's got enough distance to make it work, well and truly.
Yeah, perhaps taking a leaf out of Paddy Robinson's book and just getting that smooth backhand form that just pushes the disc a long, long way, as Dan makes no mistake there. 4-2. Lovely birdie from Dan.
Start frame on this one. The boys played it very, very well.
I think he did.
As we take a look at scores. We're out to a bit of a slow start around the front nine, only 2 down being the best score with Jade. Tim and Dan both at 1 down, and Jacob even par through the front nine. Looking to make some improvements through the back nine.
Yeah, fairly slow start, but we're all certainly in the mix for that sort of third place kind of slot, with the top dogs being a fair bit ahead of the rest.
Yeah, a little bit of a 3-horse race up in the top of the lead card as we take a look at how everyone's faring on the main leaderboard.
Yeah, Austin's still starting the round off hot. Few birdies, few bogeys, but keeping it fairly clean across the board.
Absolutely. Alex and Damon also out to a very hot front nine. We'll see how it shakes out in the back nine. Stick around and make sure you find out how this all ends up. Ashley, will we be back?
We will be back. We'll be back for the back nine, the epic conclusion of this WA Open 2023 at Mundaring. As we zoom out for the course, zoom back in and like and subscribe to our channel. And we will see you back here with Kyle, myself, and Jacob Davies for the back nine. Until then, park it.